Cars are something we all need. We need cars to get to work. We need cars to drive the kids to school, to sports events. We just can't get away from cars. So how do we buy our cars? Well, there's a lot of different ways you can buy a car. You can pay cash for a car. You can lease a car. You can finance a car through the bank, and you can even steal a car, although I don't suggest that. So wouldn't it just make sense to find out the best way for you to buy a car? But what is the best way? Is it negotiating with the dealership to get the best price and the best financing? Is it actually going out and finding the best deal on the vehicle you want? Or is it just taking a tip from the wealthy on how they buy cars? And that is by changing one thing. You can get all the money back for every single car you ever buy, drive, and own. That seems like the best way, but you know what? Every old dog can learn new tricks. And I've had to learn new tricks along the way. Even though I know how to get all the money back for all the cars I've ever bought, driven, and owned, and I'm doing it right now, then I found out how to actually get paid to drive company cars, so I started doing that. This man right here, Larry Steinhaus, came up and showed me another hack, another way to do what I'm doing better, and that's what we're gonna learn today.
Are you on the market for a car? You can get a car cheaper than anywhere you've ever been in your entire life before. So Chris, I read your booklet, and you know what? It's awesome. You know, using your infinite banking policy to buy cars is phenomenal. But if you're buying a car for $40,000, how much money do you have to borrow from your infinite banking policy to buy a $40,000 car? $40,000, right? So what if you could borrow less than half of that and still have the car? And if you still want to keep the car, then you could borrow the rest 3 years later and have use for the rest of the money.
I like it.
So this is what we're going to do. Instead of buying a car, you're going to do something called a one-pay lease. Have you ever heard of a one-pay lease?
I hadn't until he told me about it yesterday over cigars. He was telling me about, I got a better way to lease cars. And I said, Larry, leasing cars is usually not a very good idea unless you're leasing to your company. And he says, oh, there is a better way.
That's
I said,
absolutely.
Well, lit the cigar up and I said, do tell.
So here's what you're gonna do. So first of all, I need to tell you that when you walk into a dealership and you say, hi, I wanna get a one-pay lease, they're gonna go, don't talk to me, don't talk to me.
You know you found a good thing right then and there.
Because they don't make any money on them. So here's the deal. This is how I'm going to suggest you do this, and listen carefully and I'll explain the whole thing. By the way, if you haven't figured out what a one-pay lease is, it's pretty obvious. You make one payment, right? So let's talk about this. So you walk into a car, and again, the sticker price of the car is $40,000. So you take the sticker price of the car and you start to talk to the guy. Act like you're going to buy the car cash and start negotiating like you're buying the car cash. And he starts to say, hey, you know, I'll give you 30, what best I could do is 38,000, well, give me for 36,000, whatever. I realize that negotiation is probably not going to be that tight, but maybe from 40,000 to 38,000, you might be able to buy the car cash, right? And then you can say, okay, great, and you're all ready to buy the car. Now, what do? They take you into what room?
The finance
room? The finance guy room. And the finance guy room, he's about to talk to you into financing it because he doesn't want you to buy it cash. You know that, right? So
I don't think they do know that. I think a lot of people walk into a dealership thinking, wow, this dealership would love for me to pay cash for the car. It's probably one of the worst things. Well, until
it's not the worst. It's not really the worst, but you're right. The one
they can't make the points. They can't make
right.
the interest spread on the financing. So of course they're going to be like, well, hey, what if you didn't have to pay cash for the car?
Right. So this guy's going to start to talk to you. Whatever interest rate he's going to talk to you about, 3%. Okay, it doesn't matter. And just ask them price, humor him. Then look at him and go, you know, what would happen if I leased the car? And then he's going to do his thing, and he's going to get really happy because this is the best one. The absolute best way for a dealer to sell you a car is to lease it to you. So he's now super excited that he might be able to convert you into a lease and make even more money. So he starts doing it. It's $600 a month. Like, oh, wow, that's awesome. So I can have this car for $600 a month? Great. And then ask him one more question. What's the residual value? So to explain what a residual value is, that's the price of the car that you could buy. That's the price you could pay for the car in 3 years contractually. So example, it might be 60% out of a $35,000 car. If you're going to buy the car for $35,000, let's use $23,000 just to make math easy. So the car is $35,000, $23,000. He says it's $600. That's what? $600 times 12 is how much? $7,200, right? So $7,200 is what you're going to pay a year for this car. That would be $21,600. $21,600. If I did my math wrong, who cares? Just keep listening. Here's the deal, right? Then you're going to look at him and you're going to say, well, what's the one-pay lease on that? And just watch this expression. The reason they have that expression is because you're one of the 0.001% who's ever even heard of the word one-pay lease. So one-pay lease works like this. Basically, the number, whatever he gave you, it doesn't really matter, has interest in it. So now he's going to pull the interest out. Now, what I want you to do, and I don't care what number he tells you, because what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to keep it in there and also even try to make the number higher so he can make his money that he's not going to make on the one-pay lease. So what you're going to do, let's say we're going to start with $35,000 is the price of the car. You're going to add the tax to that. So let's say that's $2,000. Of course, it's not the real tax, but let's just make it for ease of math. That comes to $37,000. Remember, we said the residual value was $23,000? So we're going to take that difference. That difference is $14,000. This is the maximum you're going to pay for your one-pay lease. I don't care what number he gives you. You need it to be $14,000 or less. And believe it or not, I get this number almost every time. In fact, when I don't, I walk out and go to another dealer and they give it to me. So now you're going to take this number, you're going to hand him a check for $14,000. Where's that $14,000 going to come from?
Your infinite banking policy.
And everything in this book works with $14,000. But hold on. Now that you've got this car for 3 years. There's only 3 things that can happen in 3 years. One is the car is worth the residual value, the car is worth less than the residual value, or the car is worth more than the residual value. Well, if the car is worth more than the residual value and you like the car, just buy the car and then take the rest of the money from your
infinite banking policy.
If you don't like the car anymore, or the price of the car has gone down and diminished way below the residual value, don't buy the car and do this all again. The last choice is the car's worth more. Of course, you can either keep the car or now you can even sell the car. So these are all things that you can do if you do this properly. Best way to buy a car, do it, and I'm going to tell you another thing. Do it in your LLC. Don't do it cash. A lot of people want to build credit in their LLC, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, Larry, how do I build credit in an LLC? I don't know how to do that. It's just a brand new LLC. It has no credit. Well, first of all, if you're going to go and you're going to get a one-pay lease, does the bank have any risk at all if you've paid them everything up front?
Zero.
No, so you're guaranteed to get the loan. It's no big deal. And the credit opens up in your LLC, and it stays there for 3 years as an open credit, even though it's completely paid off. It's the greatest way to open credit in your LLC. So these are 2 awesome hacks that you can use this information in this book for.
So, it gets me thinking because, I'm always trying to find ways to move money in different ways. And sometimes we think we know the best way to do something. Getting all the money back for all the cars you ever buy, drive, and own, like our booklet shows you how to do, that right there, you would almost think that's the ultimate. And then Larry Steinhaus comes out and shows us an ultimate money hack by not just doing what we show, but how to do it a better way. How to actually go into the dealership and step by step, reverse engineer a buying process of a car. And at the end of it, that dealership literally back themselves into a corner and they can't do anything but give you the car for the one-pay lease. And then you fund that with your infinite banking policy, which enables you to have a perpetual tailwind behind the money you moved. Larry Steinhaus shows you how to do this in his upcoming book, Money Hacks. You got to get that book when it comes out because this is all outlaid right there. But think about that. We walk into a dealership intentionally to buy a car. And then some of us want to pay cash for it because we don't want those pesky payments. So you're going to pay $37,000 after tax for that car. If you paid cash for that car, you just did the stupidest thing you could ever do with your money because you lost the earning potential of all of that money. All $37,000 is gone from your family forever and it will never come back. You might as well just take your money and just start throwing it away and tearing it up because that's what you're doing when you're paying cash for a car. A car is the worst investment. It depreciates. So how he did it is he went into the dealership knowing the end result and pigeonholed the dealership into a one-pay lease, making one payment, which is using the price of the car, the monthly payments you would get the car for in a lease, and then actually then subtracting out the residual value. And boom, now all of a sudden, you get to drive the car you want with one payment, and then you get all the money back. And if you get lucky, the car is actually worth more than the residual value, and you can cash out multiple times doing that strategy. If that's not a money hack that you can use in your life, you're clearly still riding a bicycle. So why don't you change one thing and learn how to ride the backward bicycle? That is how money works. So if you like that video, there's a lot more. So check out this video right here. And don't forget, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. And also don't forget, smash